Well, welcome to week 5 of W233. I've really been enjoying reading your journals. I started over the weekend, and I've already been looking at topic papers, and I've been making a list, okay? So even though I'm not done yet, please make sure you get into your grade book. Make sure you find my comments. See if I've graded your work already. I always make comments, okay? Even if your grade's 100, I make comments. If your grade's 95, that means something, nothing bad. It just means I'm trying to capture your attention, that kind of thing. So please, please, please get in your grade book. As I said, I'm not done yet, okay? But I'm certainly enjoying the papers. This unit now, Unit 2, is about focus, right? And you think, oh, great, I've got my topic, thank God, you know. And I haven't seen any bad topics yet, by the way. I've seen great topics. And this is all true. You do have your topic, okay? Congratulations, very important step in this process, okay? But the point now is that your topic's too big. Really is, all right? You've not yet focused, and except for a few rare events, not yet focused down to where you really want to laser beam your writing on, okay? And this is because a 10-page paper is not meant to be a large project. It is not meant to be a compilation of all the information available, all right? Instead, it's meant to be this really informative, really useful dialogue with a reader that teaches the writer something important and teaches the reader something important, okay? And you do this by focusing, right? So let me give you 2 examples from this class, okay? And I'm not trying to reveal any information, obviously, but you're sharing it already. So, for example, Alzheimer's is a extraordinarily important topic in this day and age, okay, for a variety of reasons, one of which is just so many people are getting so much older so quickly that the whole demographic of people with Alzheimer's is mushrooming dramatically. Number 2 is many of you taking W233 from me are nursing students, okay? So all of us, either as adult children of older parents or as professionals, may face Alzheimer's, okay? And in my life, I've had 2 parents, one of whom clearly had dementia, maybe not Alzheimer's, and the other one did have Alzheimer's. Luckily for me and my wife, they died pretty quickly after the diagnosis, all right? Most people are not so lucky, and they have to struggle with this issue, okay? And that said, the struggle is not pleasant, all right? So you can't write a 10-page paper about Alzheimer's. It's too big a topic. It's huge, all right? And so, for example, I was reading one topic paper, and very well written, and it says, well, and the paper says, the writer says, well, I'll write about, you know, what causes Alzheimer's, what Alzheimer's is, and how it's treated, all right? Well, those are, and how you can prevent it or something, right? Or how it can be cured. So those are 3 or 4 different topics, all right? You really need to focus on one of those, and in my own opinion, because we don't really know what causes it, all right? And we don't really know how to treat it, okay? The most important thing for those of us who are adult children, or for those of us who are going to become professionals, the most important thing is going to be how to deal with it, all right? How to cope with it, okay? How do you handle an Alzheimer's patient, okay? How do you handle yourself? Man, if you're an adult parent and you're raising kids, and then you have this parent whom you love and who's totally out of touch, it's a devastating experience, okay? So there's got to be these coping mechanisms, both on a professional level and then on this parent-child level, okay? That makes a brilliant 10-page paper. How do you deal with an Alzheimer's patient? Not how do you cure it, not what caused it, how do you avoid it, right? But how you do it. So that's one topic, and that's what I'm saying about focus. Now, you can pick any one of those focuses in there. If you want to know what causes it, fine, write 10 pages on that, right? If you want to know how to cure it, right, or where the science is on curing Alzheimer's, fine, write 10 pages on that. But don't try to write 10 pages on Alzheimer's, okay? A similar issue that I've run across in the class already, and fascinating issue, okay, is PAS, physician-assisted suicide. Well, it's a tremendously interesting topic, okay? And once again, it's way more than 10 pages because you have all this legal stuff. Man, you know, it's practically, it's illegal in most states, okay? And I can't remember what Wisconsin did, but this has already been settled in the courts. So, although it's a pretty good topic, I'm not convinced it's the best topic because not in our lifetime is it going to be legal to kill your parents, okay? It's just not going to be. All right, that said, I've actually pulled the plug on both my parents, okay? How did I do that? Well, I did that through a living will. So a really good 10-page paper, man, brilliant 10-page paper, would be about how do living wills affect end-of-life decisions, and what do people face in these particular situations with living wills, okay? So I legally and ethically followed my parents' guidelines and helped them reach a satisfactory end-of-life conclusion for everybody involved, okay? But we had to do that with the advice of attorneys, with the advice of doctors, all kinds of things. So it's really, really interesting to explore that, okay? And I think that has a better outcome because it's more focused than PAS, right? Plus, it's legal, all right? So that's what I'm getting at. Focus, 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 okay? So if you have any questions about that, I don't want to be going on forever on this. Okay, speaking of discussions, you have some really, really good discussions in the next 3 weeks. This is a 3-week unit, by the way, and it ends just the way this unit ended. You'll have a paper due about your focus, and you'll have a journal due, a 4-page journal due about all your readings, okay? And I find out, I'm discovering you all are really enjoying the reading, so I appreciate that. So let me quickly jump onto the discussions, kind of tell you the goal there. First of all, there's already 5 of you already, congratulations, 5 of you participating in the Ask the Librarian discussions. Those are really, really interesting discussions, okay? They're not graded, they're just for you. But go in there, even if you don't need to use the librarian, go in there and see what's going on, okay? Because it's quite interesting. Plus, the librarian is there to help you. To summarize, she'll help you find the right journal for you, the right database for you for your topic. She matches topics and databases for you. And by the way, I'm sending her your topics. As soon as I get done this week, grading all your topic papers, I'll send her the list of topics. But she'll help you develop keywords, keyword searches, and send you to the right databases. She won't do the research for you, but she'll point you in the right direction. And so even if you don't have a question, you certainly might want to look at the kind of questions that have been raised already. So that's in your discussions, okay? The week 5 discussion, there are 2 for this week. Just about research papers in general, the good, the bad, and ugly. What's been your own experience with research papers? And then the other discussion is why is focus important? Well, duh, I just said why. Okay, so that's a good discussion. I'll get in both of those. Now, week 6, you're doing some research. Okay, all along now, you're ready to be doing your research. Even if you don't have your focus yet, your research can lead you to your focus. And very often when I read your topic paper, I'll say, well, start the research, see where the research takes you, and that becomes your focus. That's called a path of discovery. You start doing the research, and to be honest, you just take the easiest path, and you end up with your focus, okay? If you don't find a lot of research on one area of your topic, but you do find a lot of research on another area, go that way. It's that simple. This is not rocket science, okay? So week 6, I cause you to actually do some research, report your research. Week 6, I ask you to kind of look at your focus topic, and some more detail, all right? And then the week 7 discussion is simply a brainstorming, critical thinking discussion about immigration. It's one of those everybody knows kind of situations, okay? And I just want you to do a little practice of thinking outside the box. It's a little bit like the Rush Limbaugh discussion, okay? Thinking about logical fallacies, that kind of thing. I picked a hot button issue, a political issue on purpose, all right? Just to get you thinking, get you to do some critical thinking. These issues are not as simple as they sound, as the pundits, as the politicians make them sound. Okay, so please dig into the discussions. Going back to research, going back to Ask the Librarian, okay, this is an academic research paper. Academic means you use Helmke Library databases or books. Books are good. And in some cases, I already talked via Blackboard with one student who's going to do some of her own original research, okay? And original research counts too. If you interview 3 people, all right, that's 3 sources. That said, please make sure we have a discussion about how you use interviews in a paper. You use interviews in a paper just like you would any other research. You sprinkle the information through the paper. You don't just plant the interview in the middle of the paper. Don't do that, okay? I don't want any newspaper articles, and I don't want any websites in your research paper. Now, as soon as I say that, I will issue a couple of qualifications, okay? There are some very, very good websites out there for Alzheimer's, those kinds of issues. .org websites usually, okay? .gov sites are good. So in some cases, you can use generalized websites if they're very, very good, very, very professional or academic oriented, okay? You can do that, all right? But I don't want to see a lot of .com sites. You're not putting together a Google search paper. You're not doing that. This must be using Helmke Library databases. And sometimes Helmke Library will take you to .com or .org or .gov sites, which is fine, okay? So I'm not ruling them out entirely. I'm just saying that in the next unit, in Unit 3, if I see your annotated bib and there's 6 or 7 newspaper articles, which are .com sites, and or just other generic website sites, you know, no. Helm Key Library, Helm Key Library, Helm Key Library, Helm Key Library, okay? I think I rambled on enough. This is a good unit. This is probably the overview right now for the unit. I don't need to do it weekly. I think you're rolling along. So I want you to enjoy this unit, and I want you to get a hold of me when you have your questions, right? And I also want you to make sure you get into your gradebook. In the announcements, all right, there is a video about how to use your gradebook. It's very important that you understand how to use your gradebook, how to get in there and find my comments. I comment on everything, even on your discussions, okay? So don't just look at the grade, look at what I said about that grade. That's critical. That's how I teach. I make comments. That's very important. They're not in red ink or that kind of thing, but they're there, okay? And as the course gets on, the comments get more complex. So it's up to you as a good student to find my comments, understand them, and if you have a question about my comment, to get a hold of me through the Blackboard Message Center so I can clarify it for you. So hey, I've enjoyed every minute of this. Hope you did too.